Before Babylon became a name carved into history, before its temples towered like mountains of stone, before its people mastered writing, astronomy, and architecture, there was a time when confusion spread through its streets like a shadow. The people feared the unseen, yet chased it recklessly. They sought miracles, yet drowned themselves in falsehood. They desired control, but lost their grip on truth. The kings grew arrogant, the priests grew corrupt, and the common people learned from their corruption, learning magic, illusions, spells, and dark arts that led them further and further away from the straight path. And so the heavens responded, not with fire, not with armies, not with destruction, but with a test that would expose the hearts of a nation, a test wrapped not in miracles but in responsibility. Two angels descended to Babylon, not as rulers, not as conquerors, but as a trial for mankind. Their names were Harut and Marut, and their story would echo for centuries. And before we continue, you are watching Justice Qur'an, where every Quranic story is brought to life with truth, reverence, and cinematic depth. Hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to support more powerful stories from the Book of Allah. Babylon, a city of beauty, pride, and illusion. Its towers reached into the sky, its walls stretched for miles, its people traded with nations far beyond the desert. But beneath its greatness was a sickness. Magic flowed through its streets like water in a river. Sorcerers filled its markets. Priests performed tricks that they claimed came from the heavens. The wealthy paid for spells to secure their power. The jealous paid to cause the downfall of others. And simple people came seeking shortcuts to solve their worldly problems. The darkness grew deeper. The line between truth and deception began to fade. Rumors spread through the city. This is knowledge from the angels. These spells are taught by the heavens. This magic is divine. But these were lies. And the Lord of the world sent his test to silence those lies once and for all. Hārūt and Mārūt descended, not in the form of shining lights, nor in blazing wings. For angels are beings unseen to men. They appeared as human men, humble, calm, quiet. No crown, no throne, no weapons, no display of power. Those with wisdom recognized something strange in their presence, a stillness, a dignity, a purity that did not belong to ordinary humans. But the angels came with a mission, a test. They did not teach magic. They did not encourage sin. They taught discernment. They taught the difference between truth and falsehood, between miracles and illusions, between divine knowledge and deceptive sorcery. Every time a seeker approached them, the angels warned, "We are a test. Do not fall into disbelief." But temptation is louder than warnings. Desire is stronger than truth for those who let it grow. Soon the news spread throughout Babylon. There are two mysterious teachers. They know secrets of the unseen. They understand the hidden arts. People began to arrive in secret. The greedy came seeking wealth. The jealous came seeking revenge. The lovelorn came seeking forbidden ways to control hearts. The oppressed came seeking power, and many came out of pure curiosity. And every time Harut and Marut repeated, "Do not fall into disbelief. We are only a test." But some hearts were already poisoned. One man asked, "Teach me how to break a marriage." Another, "Teach me how to rise in power." Another, "Teach me how to separate two friends." Another, "Teach me what will make people obey me." The angels never commanded them to sin. They warned them, they cautioned them, they reminded them. But after hearing the warning, some still chose the path of corruption. And with each person who misused knowledge, the darkness in Babylon grew deeper. This was the true test, not of the angels, but of mankind. As more people misused the knowledge, Babylon began to change. Families were torn apart, friendships shattered, marriages destroyed, jealousy replaced trust, fear replaced peace. People began to whisper, "Harut and Marut have great powers, powers from the heavens." But they misunderstood the truth. The angels were not teaching magic. They were revealing how magic worked so people would not be deceived. Yet many used that knowledge to harm themselves and harm others. And when corruption spread too far, the heavens responded once again. Harut and Marut were angels. They did not sin. They did not desire evil, but their mission had ended. And by the command of Allah, they were placed in a state unique to them, a state of suspension, a confinement between earth and sky. A reminder, a sign, a living testimony against those who misused knowledge. Generation after generation passed by their place, some with fear, some with regret, some with stories and myths. But the truth remained. They were angels placed as a test, and many failed that test. The story of Hārūt and Mārūt did not remain in Babylon. It was written in the Qur'an itself, not as entertainment, not as mythology, but as a warning. Knowledge is one of the greatest gifts from Allah, but it is also one of the most dangerous. For knowledge without humility becomes arrogance, and knowledge without righteousness becomes destruction. What destroyed the people of Babylon was not the angels. It was their own desires, their own choices, their own refusal to heed the warning, do not fall into disbelief. And so, the story of Harut and Marut remains preserved as a sign for those who seek truth, a sign that not every door should be opened, not every secret should be sought, not every path leads to light. Some knowledge elevates the soul, some knowledge destroys it. True wisdom is not in having power, true wisdom is knowing when to walk away from it. May Allah protect us from knowledge that harms and guide us toward knowledge that brings us closer to Him. This is Justice Qur'an.